What's going on, my brothers and sisters around the world? It's your boy Terrell Humphrey, Phyllis T, Phase Knowledge, Phyllis T, and Terrell Humphrey. And welcome to episode number 11 with my special guest, Apostle D. Robinson. For those of you who don't know who he is, he's been a long time mentor. I've known him my whole life, and man, this episode right here gonna be something special. Apostle, how you doing?
I'm doing good, my friend. How are you, sir?
Man, I cannot complain at all.
Let me say thank you so much, Terrell, for inviting me to be your guest today. I'll be honest and tell you, I'm nervous, and excited, and I'm honored.
Mm-hmm.
Mainly because you guys are a product of Change Life for one, and to see you guys in your adulthood doing so well, it just blesses me. So thank you so much for letting me be a part of what you are doing in this season.
I mean, I appreciate you for saying yes. What you mean? That listen, I ain't gonna lie either. I'm pretty nervous. I get nervous, but like today, I'm like extremely nervous. I don't
Oh,
know if there's a good thing or a bad thing. I think it's a good thing though. I think it's
it's
a
a
good
good thing. Anytime
thing.
you're not nervous, go back to the drawing board because God ain't in
Mhm. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So before we even get to the topic, right? We're gonna go back to before you were apostle, before you were a pastor. I don't know like all the names that goes into the ministry industry, but we're gonna go to the beginning phase to where you had a vision and you actually start to implement that. How was that process?
Well, my vision, of course, was the ministry, Change Life Ministries. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
Started with 9 folk. Your
Mm-hmm.
mom was one of them. I'm gonna try not to cry.
Mm-hmm.
Over 18 years ago, started with 9 folk, and God built that. And I'll be honest, I can say this now. Then I didn't have a clue what I was doing,
Mm-hmm.
but people trusted me, um, and I was able to grow the ministry. We went to, excuse me, moved into the funeral home, and you guys were instrumental in that piece. With just everything your mom brought to the table. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
we were elevated to an overseer in Full Gospel Baptist under Bishop Paul Morton.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, we went from that, and I'm gonna make this quick because this is 18 years. We went from that. We were consecrated to the bishopric. Your mom, you all a part of that. And what about 5 years ago, I was affirmed as an apostle. I no longer pastor. I
Mm-hmm.
oversee ministries. I'm the presiding prelate of an organization called Kingdom Covenant Connection International, which is a connection of kingdom leaders. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
all I'm doing now is duplicating and making sure you guys continue the legacy, the vision. So here I am today, uh, honored again that I've been chosen. I want to talk very briefly about our nonprofit, Part of the Solution Incorporated. You guys have been a part of that as well. We have had a homeless outreach with victim services. We now are in Monroe County with a complete food pantry. We are one of 2 food pantries in the county that at least 3 times a month we give out food.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I am now the board president. We have an amazing executive director by the name of Tamara Banks that's taking control of that. You got a chance to talk to her on last night. So, in
Mm-hmm.
a nutshell, that's me.
Man, listen, and what's so crazy? You say 18 years ago. Oh my God, that was crazy because, like you said, we was the first ones to actually see your vision actually come like to reality. And what's so crazy? You didn't give up on yourself.
you guys, you guys are the reason the vision came to life. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
Without people, it's just a vision. I tell people
Mm-hmm.
all the time, if you call yourself a leader and nobody is following you, you're just taking a long walk.
Mm.
So God gave it to me, and I was able to give it to you guys, and here we are. So yeah, then I wouldn't have said that then, but I can
Mm-hmm.
tell you now, I didn't have a clue. I
Mm-hmm.
was trusting the Lord. through the whole process. We were a family,
Mm-hmm.
loved one another. We're a small ministry, and I mean, it was amazing. That's what happened when you trust God in the process.
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir. 100%. So during that process, during that whole like the beginning phase, right? What's the biggest thing that you learned about yourself?
That in the well, I had to understand first of all, it was not me.
Mm-hmm.
Because there were times to where things would be given to me, whether envisioned that I'm like, how am I gonna make this happen?
Mm-hmm.
So I had to trust God in that process. One of my biggest sayings I tell people: do it, even if you have to do it afraid. So
Mm-hmm.
I was afraid, but I had no choice. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
I found out that I was able to be a successful leader, and others were willing to follow what I was sharing, as long as, watch this, Terrell, as long as I was transparent who I was.
Mm-hmm.
When you're real about who you are, people will trust you. They don't have to figure you out. So I believe with all that being part of the plan, it all worked out. And so you guys helped me get to that place.
Man, that's right there is powerful. Because I ain't gonna lie, like you said, like you have to be transparent with yourself, and it's hard to do. Because when I started this journey last year, when I started recording again, like in front of a camera, I tried to I tried to give a persona to where it wasn't me. Like I wasn't as enthusiastic, I wasn't as like energetic. It was just like I'm giving you this professional persona, and I mean, yes, I can be professional, but I know how to conduct myself also.
We sometimes uh, fashion ourselves to what we think people want us to be.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of the times it's easy to follow in the footsteps of someone else that's already doing it. Now that I learned in ministry. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
I was under Apostle Katie Allen, Bishop Morton, and in the beginning, in the funeral home, I was trying to preach like them.
Mm.
And it was one day something said to me, the Lord said to me, I don't need another Paul Morton. I don't need another Katie Allen. I need a Robinson. And
Mm-hmm.
that's when I began to become who I am. And I lost folk, watch this, but because I was real, those that God had assigned to me found me.
Mm-hmm.
See, I was looking for folk at first, but when I became who I was, folks started to look for me, and that's where we are today.
Mm-hmm.
I hope this helps you. Be genuine, Terrell. Be who you are, and I promise you, everything that's assigned to you will find you. Thank you, kind dear.
Mm, mm. Preaching early this morning, ain't you? Oh,
I promise I'm not trying.
it's natural. It comes natural because like when you've been doing it for so long, you actually love what you do. It just come out natural. And I understand exactly where you're coming from because earlier you had said that even when you're afraid, you have to do it, right? And that leads us to the topic to today. What does fear means to you?
What does fear mean to me? Um, let me say this: there's fear in everything.
Mm-hmm.
I said earlier, if you're not afraid, then you're within self.
Mm-hmm.
Within self, you'll fail always. It's just evident. But that fear factor allows you to find a way, because being afraid, you're saying, I have to do this. I got to figure out a way to do it. So being afraid, having that in the back of your mind, knowing I have to succeed, you'll work harder finding an avenue. So if we constantly operate in fear, Terrell, nothing would happen.
Mm.
So you've got to realize within yourself, and sometimes it takes scripture. I can do all things through Christ, which strengthens me. You've
Mm-hmm.
got to go within yourself and figure out what's necessary to move forward past this place. Now, this is helping me today because I needed this.
Mm. Mm. So how do you do that? Like I understand, like you can read the scriptures all day, but how do you implement that in your everyday life?
Well, I tell you what works for me is
Mm-hmm.
trusting that anything that I'm doing is of God.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, if it's of God, it has to succeed. Not gonna be easy. Uh, I'm struggling with a situation now to where I know God has said yes, and I know God has promised it to me. but I don't see it.
Mm-hmm.
Folk around me don't see it. And what I did on last week, and it's gonna help me, is I found a scripture where about the 10th chapter of Ezekiel, where the Lord told, well, the angel showed up to Ezekiel and said, the minute you prayed, God released this prayer, but the enemy don't want you to have it. And for 20 days, I fought to get to this place, and it helped me understand God releasing it in our lives, and it manifests as two different things. So it goes, and that's where that fear factor, because I'm gonna tell you, the enemy's in my head. Oh no, you got it wrong, and this ain't your season, and all of that. But then I've got to hold on to what I know, what I'm hearing in myself. And eventually, Terrell, you got to speak to that situation. No, this ain't what God told me. You'll eventually figure it out. Just feel yourself to want to do it.
Mm-hmm. And it's crazy because you said you've been battling this for the last 20 days, right? So I've been vlogging for like, maybe today is day 13, because I've been vlogging for, it's the Vlogmas day for Christmas month, whatever case, until the days of Christmas. And so I was gonna stop day 10 because like I was recording like every day trying to figure out what I wanted to do, and I'm tired of recording like every day. But in all actuality, the whole process of me recording every day, I done learned so much about little things I never paid attention to.
Wow.
Like for instance, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, you go ahead. I want you to finish.
So for instance, like social media, right? We're using social media wrong just because like we think it's for entertainment. We think it's for like to bypass time. In all actuality, social media is for marketing. Social media is for networking. Social media is growing your platform to where a lot of people you can get in front of a lot of people.
Yes, sir.
And if I would have stopped vlogging, that mother would have went over my head.
Man, you said to me last night when we were talking, you were telling me all of your platforms you're using. It really blessed me. See, here's the thing: social media is whatever we allow it to be. Okay, I hear people say, "I had to get off Facebook. It's just too much negativity." It's time for you to change your surroundings. I've gotten off Facebook, but because all of my businesses, all of my connections are on Facebook, I can't just disappear. So now what I did is I created me a new page with new folk on it. Speaking positivity in my life, encouraging me, understanding where I am. You understand what I'm saying? And that's what you have to do. It's got to happen, Terrell, whether you do it or someone else does it. And the fact of you knowing that you're struggling within yourself, that means it needs to be done. That means you got to push past. All I need is one person. When I started, I don't know why I'm going. When I started Change Life Ministries 18 years ago, my own family said, I give it 6 months. That's why I've worked so hard, because my own family didn't believe this can happen. And so all you need is that negative force, that negative energy for you to push against. All you need, you tell me it ain't possible, just get out of my way, Doc, because I'm going to make it happen for you. Check my record.
And you know what's so crazy? What I came to realize, because like in the ministry industry, you have ideal audience that you're speaking to, right?
Yes, sir.
It's not gonna resonate with everybody because it's not their time yet. But the message is here. That I'm gonna always keep doing what I'm doing, but the message is here for the people that's actually ready for the dollars that I'm giving. Like for instance, because I do a podcast, when I be doing a podcast, dropping it with myself, it is different because like some people like, Terrell, what you speaking about, that's hard. But a lot of people not gonna really understand what I'm speaking about because it's not your time yet.
I'm gonna say, I'm learning, the young people talk stuff. It's a saying that I hear a lot. Haters are gonna hate. I'm just gonna say that. Well, there are people that would support this work that you're doing if it was somebody else. But because it's you, you're not gonna always get that support. That's why you believe within yourself. What I'm saying, you got to know beyond a shadow of doubt that you've been assigned to do this. And if it may not be many folk in the beginning, but you never know at what point you're gonna post something that's gonna resonate in someone's spirit and change their life. And if you've done that, then you've succeeded. Someone's gonna get the message. A lot of the times we pick our audience. If that makes sense. We pick those that we want to share with, but understand those that we choose may not choose us. There's someone that's struggling down the way, and here you come, little old Terrell, a little old Robinson, and go live for 5 minutes, and you just save them from committing suicide. They may never tell you. That's why it's important just to do what you. Don't be concerned about the crowd. The crowd comes.
That is definitely true, because like when I started the process, I was worried about the stats, I worried about the numbers or whatever the case is. But then I just got to realize, I was like, the numbers gonna come. It ain't about the numbers. It's about what I'm giving and make sure it's genuine and transparent, and from the heart. Because like every time I speak from the heart.
Yes, sir.
And it's like it resonate with some people, resonate with more than less. But it's all about like me progressing in life.
Yes, sir. It's all about you, and if they benefit by you progressing, wonderful. Because here's the deal, Terrell, folks, and I find all the time, folk won't remember the good things you've done, but turn around and mess up. Turn around and make a mistake. The hell with everything you've done. We're concerned with what you've done right now. But again, Terrell, you got to know this is what you've been called to do. If you out there doing it by yourself, just do it. Success follows you. I've been busy chasing success. I had to find out all these years after having cancer, after having 2 heart attacks, after having folk walk away from me. Success follows you. So you just start walking. You just start doing what you've been called. If you feel God told you to chunk rocks at a train, just pick up rocks and start chunking. Trust me here, folk gonna talk about you. That boy down there chucking rocks by. But watch this. The minute you find success in that area, everybody, oh, Terrell, that's my boy. I changed his diapers. The dark days, listen to your apostle. The dark days are going to come. But it's during those times you're going to find strength. You're going to realize who's with you. You're going to realize who has your back. But regardless of who has your back, Terrell has to know that he's been called to this. It won't be.
That is true. That is true. And I see as we're speaking now, like your spirit is like so exciting. Right. And then I didn't even know that you had cancer. But you still like made it through that, right? You was in your darkest times, not once but twice, and you still have the aptitude to keep a positive spirit. How do you do that?
Yeah, I had no choice. I'll be honest. During that time, I mean, I lost a lot. I mean, it was hard. I didn't tell many people, just those close to me. And for 3 months, I stayed in my home. I stayed in my house. I cried. I'll be honest, I was suicidal. I forgot about all of that. And just one day out the blue, the Lord says, get up. And he began to minister to me and realized that cancer didn't have me. I had cancer. I began to deal with that. It eventually, went away. Then it turned out I had a heart attack. So, but the thing that really helped me through all of that is knowing that I've been called to this. I still had an assignment. If God wanted me to die, I would have. I've had enough situations to allow that. I had to get with Dwayne. And anytime I get with Dwayne, I'm gonna figure it out. Does that help you?
It does.
See, you quit, get a vision. You're gonna run to mama, you're gonna run to all these folks. Say, look what I got. And they may not see it. So what you do, you go put it up, put it in the door, because they didn't see it. Then you look up and somebody else is doing what you were supposed to be doing. Now you got to go back and pull yours out and change it so it don't look like you copying off of them. He ain't started doing it until I started doing it. But watch this. Watch this. I'm gonna preach now. A visionary don't mind folk coming behind them. So if God gives you something and it's successful, you want to see other folk do the same thing. The name of your show is Failures Knowledge, which suggests to me you got to have some failures to have knowledge.
100%. Because you're not gonna wake up successful. You're not gonna wake up with the mindset that you have.
Abraham Lincoln had many failed businesses.
Mm-hmm.
He ran for Congress and failed. Never won. Ran for the Senate, never won. Folk around him said, "Get someone to sit down." Ran for president one time, Doc, and won. So what happened had the failed business made him sit down? What happened had he run for Congress or run for and sat down? You know, we never know what's in us until we try.
You know what's so crazy? Do you know how we be like us as human beings? We're like, that's hard. It's hard because we ain't never done it before. It's hard because we ain't never took the aptitude to be like, all right, I'm gonna try this. And if I fail, I fail. At least I done said I've done it. like prime example, like I done been through a lot. I done started something, I done ended something. Like when I first started YouTube, I was doing cooking. It was a cooking channel, right? I don't like cooking, but I stopped cooking. But I kept doing YouTube though.
Right.
And people not ready for that just because of that progression of just saying like I'm gonna do something, then quit, then start something else, then do, you know, a lot of people not ready for that.
Not ready for it. Terrell, I tell my folk, if it was easy, anybody could do it. If it was easy, anybody. And here's the folks that ain't doing it, they got suggestions on how you could do it better. You know, and I've learned that I believe one of the reasons I'm as successful because I've surrounded myself with people that are successful. Now watch this. I've had conversations with folks and asked them that failed, why did they fail? So you have to look at the whole picture in any situation. But after having those conversations, I've got to figure it out for Dwayne. Because what worked for you may not work for the next man. And then what'll happen is they'll come, how did you do this? And they'll try to duplicate it without you and fail. Instead of saying, Terrell, show me how you started your podcast. Show me how you got to this place. We'll come behind you and try to do it on our own. We're so more successful, Terrell, when we work together. Yeah. You know, we've been saying we're better together. We're not coming together. We're not working together. We're not looking out for one another. When I was growing up, I could go down to Sister Ada's house and get a cup of sugar. I don't even know my neighbor now. Oh, okay.
And then, like, so what's so crazy? When did you understand the power of networking and connecting with people?
I've always understood it, but I didn't understand who I was. Once I understood who I was and understood I had something to bring to the table, then I showed up with something, and then and they connected. I always tell people, if you're not at the table, you're probably their lunch. So in saying that, I had to provide something, and so when I connected with folk, I was providing something, a resource, and they would have a resource. And so I realized I can go far. There are times, Terrell, where I don't have the answer. I can pick the phone up and call a state representative or call another pastor or call a bishop. And they said, this is what you need to do right here. Now, imagine me not having those connections. So in order to succeed, here we go. We got to connect with other folks. Nothing's going to work alone. Your car, pull the battery out. As beautiful as it is, it's not going to work. Okay? Transmission go out. Car still look good, but because transmission is gone, nothing works. What happens if we come together as a community? Are we ready for this conversation?
Man, yes, sir. Yes, sir. We ready for it.
What happens if we
ready for it
as a community and work together to build something? The Tower of Babel, the people realized that they could come together and build a tower to heaven. And because they were so committed to doing that, and they were doing that, the Lord saw that. That's in the Bible. And he confused their language. He messed them up so that they wouldn't do it. If we come together, stuff gonna happen.
100. And you know what's so crazy that you said that? So my end goal, right, is to have like a community in Arkansas to where it's like a networking event. You don't have to be doing podcasts. You don't have to be doing be a minister. You don't have to be doing none of that. But what you do have to be doing is chasing what's in your heart. So just imagine if we can get multiple people in different industries come together in Arkansas. What?
You talking like me now. I like
Listen. Listen. The student become the teacher. The teacher become the student. Do
come
you
here,
hear
son.
me?
Come here, son. Let me hear it.
So I'm like, because in Arkansas we have limited resources. Everybody think it's all about a competition thing. But in all actuality, if we collaborate with each other, we can bring something to the table that some people don't have, or they can bring something to the table that we don't even know exists.
That's it. That's it.
And once I started to understand the power of like networking and understanding you can bring value to anybody.
Yes,
I do
sir.
want to get everybody number.
Yes,
I want
sir.
to get everybody number. If we have a conversation, oh yeah, man, let me get your number. I might not use it today, but I'm gonna use it.
Man, I tell people all the time, when I make a new connection, and this is not me being selfish. I'm constantly trying to figure out, see what it is you have that I can use. Whereas you should be doing the same thing. You know, and it's not a thing of using one another. It's the bartering system. You know, you bring what you have to the table. I bring what I have to the table, and work this out. But again, Terrell, grandma would say it like this: we'll cut our nose off to spite our face. In other words, if I don't like you, I ain't making a dime with you. I ain't working with you. I ain't doing nothing with you. Now, can I be honest and say this? The other persuasion, let me say it that way, they'll work together all day long. They ain't gotta like each other. Make that money and go home. Are you following? And success, let me say this, success is not always money. Success not, and that's what we mess up at. Success not, because it's some millionaires that's suicidal right now.
Listen, I heard this quote. Oh, go ahead.
They said I'll take a 1-bedroom apartment and ride the bus just to be away from all of this. So it's about being who you are and being genuine. And that's, we make it seem so hard, but it's the easiest thing to do, Terrell.
Listen, and you are 100% true. Like, because it's hard to find out who you are. It's hard to find out that you can bring something to the table even when you just starting off. I had to understand that.
Yes,
like just because I don't have as much as the other person, or don't have the more resources, I still have a work ethic that I can bring to the table. It might be valuable to you right now. Now we just build together,
man.
And that's like people in Arkansas, it's like so envy against each other.
Yes,
and you don't understand the power of like connecting with each other. What?
Listen, I'm gonna tell you how that starts. It starts by two people starting the process and becoming the conversation. Noah built an ark, and for all of those years that he was building the ark, it had never rained. He had been instructed to build this ark. He was building the ark on dry land. Folk walked by and made fun of him. He built his ark talking about it's gonna rain. He was a preacher. He go to church on Sundays and preach about rain. He come on Wednesday nights and preach about rain for Bible study. But folks talked about it. They made fun of him. As he was working, they made fun of him. But the minute the first raindrop fell, Terrell, watch me here. The minute the first raindrop fell, it negated everything folk had to say about him. Terrell, all you gotta do is do what you've been called to do what you've been assigned to do. Folk gonna talk. All you gotta do is give them something to talk about.
100%.
They're gonna make it up.
100%.
Most of the times, the ones that are talking are the ones that would like to be where you are. Okay, I'm finished.
So let me ask you this. So, what's your definition of success?
My definition of success is being able to duplicate myself in a positive way in other people's lives. It ain't about money. It's about being able to hear someone say years down the road, I didn't give up because of you. Or you, I mean, I get this all the time. You preached a message 10 years ago that's resonating in my life right now. I don't even know I did it. Most of the time, I don't know the folk, bro. That's success. Is when folk can speak well of Terrell. Oh, that rhyme, I like that.
That was a bar. That was a bar. That was a bar.
You successful, sir.
dropping bars, preaching early this
Man,
morning.
anybody on this line that can help me with these bars, y'all inbox me. We can make some stuff happen.
Hey, do you hear me? And you might get stuck at the end of the sentence, but you know.
Yeah. But see, that's again, we talk about success.
Mm-hmm.
I'll do what I can and pass it to the next person.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm a nonprofit. Prime example. Been executive director for 8 years.
Mm-hmm.
And it's all I know. But at some point, I needed to move on, and so. And it's funny. I think Tamara's probably watching this, so she'll probably this first time she's heard this. I hired her to run my office in Forest City because I needed a body.
Mm-hmm.
I trusted her, and I needed a body. And she took that within a year. I began to see what she had to offer, and within a year, she took that resource center and transformed it to where we're able to reach the homeless. We're able to help people because there's prisons there, so
Mm-hmm.
people get jobs. We were helping victims. It was so much we were doing there. And so when I came to her and said, "Hey, it's time for me to step down," so well, what you gonna do? I said, "Well, you've been doing the job." So a successful person is going to create pathways for others to follow. That's good.
So when did you get to that point when you needed help doing what you was doing?
When I needed help,
Mm-hmm. When you realized like I need help, I need to start getting more people around me.
I from the very beginning, I knew I needed help.
Mm-hmm.
I started with the 9, I knew I needed help, but I needed the right help.
Mm.
See, there are some folks that attach to you because they're like leeches. And I'm not saying in a bad way. They see what they can get, but they don't have anything to bring to the table. And over time, just like leeches, they fell off.
Mm-hmm.
There are people that's been with me from day one, and I knew that they would be. They may not still be a part of the ministry, but we're still connected. But then there are those that came, and I knew they wouldn't stay. And I couldn't treat them any different, Terrell, because I knew their motives were wrong. Watch this. Jesus knew that Judas was going to betray him when he met him. But for 3.5 years, he didn't treat him any different. Matter of fact, when it was time for Judas to do what he needed to do, Jesus says, "Do what you got to do and do it quickly." He understood the folk around him. When you understand those that are around you, Terrell, you can do so much more. That don't mean, it's folk around me now. I know don't mean me no good, but they belong to me. They're assigned to me. I got to love them. And they'll probably stab me in the back at some point because they don't understand. I just gotta patch that wound up. I'm gonna be mad, I'm gonna be hurt, I'm gonna act fool. Because watch this. At some point, I've wronged someone. Come here, Robinson. At some point, and I've been asking, this is not supposed to be a ministry interview, but I've been praying for God to give me double grace. We know grace is God's unmerited favor. I'm saying, give me grace. In other words, give me enough grace that when I need it, I have it. But when Terrell needs the same grace that I'm asking for, I'm able to extend it. See, oftentimes we'll get mad at folk for not offering us grace in a place, but we won't do it. So if I cut someone off, I'm learning. If someone cut me off, I'm learning not to get so upset. Watch this, because I've done it before at some point. So again, Terrell, this is what makes the world go around. We all gonna make mistakes. We all are striving, and can I help you here? Everybody's struggling right now. I'm good, but I promise you, I'm struggling. I'm trusting God along the way. And if you'll be honest, it's some areas in your life. You said, "Lord, if you don't help me, I don't know if I'm gonna make it." But I can't stop. I gotta keep going because I don't know at what point he's not gonna show up in my past. He's gonna show up in my future. So if I stop what I'm doing, I'm gonna miss God. A football player, I don't play football. You know this. Matter of fact, y'all try to teach me how. They throw the ball to a position, to a place. You follow me? And so whoever's in that place gets the ball. So in saying that, Terrell, it's important for me to be where I'm supposed to be to get what I'm supposed to get.
Mm-hmm.
And me getting depressed or getting down, I can't stop.
Mm-hmm.
It's been days, Terrell, that I've stood before y'all and preached like a scalded dog, and then go back in that office and cry.
Mm-hmm.
You understand what I'm saying? I
Yes,
have
sir.
to keep pushing. You have to keep pushing. I don't know who else on this interview today that may need to go back and refresh their vision. If it's still in your heart and your head, do it.
Mm-hmm.
Best advice I can give you.
and,
Let's do it.
and you know what's so crazy? Like every it seemed like every analogy that you're using, I need used it before. Like prime example, the one about football, right? There's 11 positions on the field: offense, defense, kickoff return, whatever case is. There's 11 people on the field. Well, 22, both teams, right?
Right,
You
right.
have a certain position on the field to play.
Uh,
If you don't play that position, either so that they can offense can score, defense can do whatever, sack, whatever the case is. If you don't play your position, that one missed assignment can cause a loss of a game, right? In the same analogy with life, if you don't do what you're supposed to do within yourself, how you supposed to get at the level that you want to perceive it?
wow. As you was
Like,
giving that, I'm like, so you mean to tell me it takes everybody on the team to be in the right position, doing what they're supposed to do for us to succeed?
100%.
Oh, wow, man. See, now you changed the whole game for me.
Mm.
If you think about it, because we're all concerned about being successful ourselves, but
Mm-hmm.
some successes, some wins come because others were involved.
Mm-hmm.
Peter, there's a scripture in the Bible that says he'd been fishing all night long,
Mm-hmm.
and he had given up.
Mm-hmm.
Given up. He was washing his nets, which suggested he was through.
Mm-hmm.
Jesus walked up and said, "Go back out there and cast your net on the other side." Peter said, "We've been fishing all night long and I'm tired.
Mm-hmm.
But at your word, I'll do it." Peter went back out to the same waters. Watch this, where he hadn't caught nothing all night long, and caught so many fish till the nets began to break.
Mm.
And the Bible says that Peter motioned for the other fish, or other boats that were in the vicinity, which suggests to me that when Peter took off to go back in that water, it was some other cats around said, "Y'all load these boats up because Peter finna go find something."
Mm-hmm.
They didn't get word that Peter had a good catch and then load their boats up to go out there. They followed Peter. So in saying that, sometimes me being successful is connecting to the right person. Not me being the leader of it. See, I can't be the quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I gotta be the tailback.
Mm-hmm.
Or the tight end. Or, I don't know the position. I know their position.
Mm-hmm.
I can't be the star. But without me, watch this, the star can't win.
100%.
That's good, right?
This it's just like the coach. The coach not playing.
Wow.
The coach is not playing. The coach is giving you a play, and you have to do your assignment. If you don't do your assignment, it could be either a good play, a bad play, or busted assignment, or a bad play.
Yes, sir.
I think I said bad play twice, but at the same time, the coach is not on the field, so it's up to the players to be like, "All right, we're gonna work as a team. I'm gonna do my assignment, so the next person to my left and right can actually fulfill their job.
Yeah.
And we can win as one. We can win as one, so we not competing against each other."
I'm gonna take it a step further. Talking about coach. See, I've been a coach time too, Doc. You could be losing the whole game. Halftime, I mean, first two, you lose in and go back into that back there, and that coach goes to talking crazy. Sometimes he cuss you out, and when you come back on that field, your whole mindset can change. Everybody, all because the coach said the right thing. So everybody has a position to play. This is good.
You didn't know what you was getting yourself into, did you?
Almost over.
You didn't even know what you was getting yourself into, did you?
I really did. And I promise you, I've been praying for 2 days. I done had folks send me talking points that I ain't used. This is good. I'm enjoying this.
That's why I told you yesterday, we're just gonna have a natural conversation. Because you gotta also think about it. I mean, yes, the script is good, but it's not gonna feel as genuine as like just a normal conversation.
Yes,
on or off camera.
Yes,
I had to learn that. Why? Because like I be doing like a lot of videos, And the videos I be doing, I be so energetic to where if I'm not on camera, I'm doing the same thing. So if we not on camera, we speaking the same way, speaking the same language.
Right.
You ain't gonna have no script in front of you talking about, all right, so this and that, this and that, and that. No, to be honest, I can't even read the script because it's so small. So I'm trying to read. I'm trying to
get in the way. Get in the way. Get in the way. You know, especially with like me preaching. You know, a lot of times I can't use notes. I'll have them there. You know, but when something is natural, you can tell. You know, in the first few minutes of a conversation, I can tell if you genuine or you putting on airs. And I'm clever enough to, if you want to play that game, I'll play it with you. I mean, we go down that road because
you better than me.
You can get a whole lot more out of me being real and being genuine. You follow what I'm saying? And that's why transparency is so important. You know, a lot of folks try so hard to figure out how you got to this place, how you did this. Just be who you are. There's no blueprint, Terrell, to life. There's no blueprint to it. All of us trying to figure this thing out. And some of us are just smart enough to hide that we won't folks think we got it together. Take your hand off your head and nap it just like the next man. I'm just saying. You put your pants on one leg at a time, just like it doesn't matter that you have a driver. It doesn't matter if you have a $5,000 home. Folks, as much as I love my house, it's been days I'd rather be anywhere but here. I'm just being honest with
you. Yep. And what I just realized, so you like the older version of me, the biblical version of me.
So you finna make me cry again.
Because like,
do you hear what you're saying though? Because and I'm because of who I was, you're able to say I'm able to do some successful things. It wasn't just me, there were others. But as I hear you, I hear me. I do, which means I did something right. I ain't been a failure all my life. I got some failures knowledge, Doc.
Yes, sir. That's why the brand is like, it resonates with everybody. Everything that you do, you gonna fail at. You have to fail in order to gain the knowledge. And what's so crazy? I'll be watching like a lot of videos, and they always say failure is success, failure is this, failure is that. I'm like, why nobody ever said failure is knowledge? What?
Sometimes, and it just takes that one person. You've taken that, and now now we're saying it. Now we're saying it. And when you stared at what I said, it makes sense. Failure is knowledge. You gotta fail in order to succeed. But then you got, like you say, you got to determine what success is. What is success to me? There are some folks that success is the money. Success to me is being happy, being able to live the life that I'm living, folk being real, genuine around me, like I said, duplicating ourselves. That's success. So you
100%.
How old are you now, Terrell?
22.
22. At 22 years old, you're a successful young man. You got a long way to go, but you're building the right foundation for success.
Yes, I really appreciate that. I really appreciate that, because like the whole interview that we had today, everything that you had said, I made a video prior to that.
Wow.
So one of them was like, something about success. And when I asked you about success, I made a video. I was like, I'm meeting success in person for the first time. I've never like really experienced what this is. So this is a new language that I'm really excited about.
I'm meeting success in person for the first time. Wow.
See, like everything that we're talking about resonates with everything I'm posting, because like it shows me that I'm on the right path. I'm doing the right thing I'm supposed to do, because not only have I found myself, or I'm finding myself every day, but I'm gonna find myself like more than I did last year. But just like a constant growth, constant progression. It's like, are you becoming the best version of yourself today than yesterday?
Wow. Wow. Never mind yesterday. What are you doing now
Mm-hmm.
better yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Are you becoming the best version of yourself?
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir. And that's what the brand represents, empowering you to become the best version of yourself. And I can't give you no not genuine topic just because like whatever I talk about, oh yeah, it's coming from the heart. It's coming from the dream. Like this, I think it was like episode number 5 or 6. I dreamed about the topic and I made the podcast like as soon as I woke up.
That was the very first one I saw.
Really?
You was explaining, I'm gonna tell you, I was getting tires on my truck and I was
Mm-hmm.
sitting there waiting, and you was talking about explaining it. And I said,
Mm-hmm.
this is good. I think I commented then too. This is
Mm-hmm.
good. And here's the deal: a lot of folk feel it's good, but they'll never tell you.
Mm-hmm.
They gonna log on and they gonna listen to every podcast. They're never gonna say thank you. They're never gonna
Mm-hmm.
say it encouraged me. That's why you
Mm-hmm.
gotta know who you are. You don't need other folk to pat you on your back. It's gonna be days Doc waiting back and be around. I try to
Mm-hmm.
get Bentley and Bart to pat me on my back. Sometimes they won't even do it.
Mm.
Those are my dogs. So
They
what
just
do I
walk
have
by
to do?
you.
Yeah, man, I'm saying they will. Like, you gonna feed me or what? You know, I'm trying to come here. But so what do I have to do? I've gotta encourage myself because nobody else around to do it.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta know that you've been called to this. Like I said, you can go live and have 0 people watching.
Mm-hmm.
0 people watching, but you still gotta release whatever is within you. It may be
Mm-hmm.
5 days later for John Doe log on and see this and say, this is what I need. But what would happen,
Mm-hmm.
Terrell, had you not done it? Had you not posted?
Prolong the success. It's not a good time to post it today. It's not a good time. I'm gonna do it next year.
There you go.
Do you not realize how long next year is?
You may not be in
How
next.
long a month is?
May not be in next year.
What? like prime example. So my homeboy Kim, he said he want to start his YouTube, right? He said in July. I'm like, bro, what? In July? I said, bro, why don't you just start it now? But okay, he want to prolong the process. Okay, he was like, trust the process. You not even trusted it.
Well, again, maybe he got to build himself up. A lot of times
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
easy to talk about
Mm-hmm.
it, but the hard part is doing it and
Mm-hmm.
implementing it. And so
Mm-hmm.
he maybe waiting July is his thing. But he don't realize how many folk he's missed out on. Watch this, Terrell. Let me ask you this. What would happen if you knew the next thing that you were asked to do was going to save someone's life?
You said, what would I do?
Let me finish it. This is serious. Meaning, sometimes we're urged to do something and it may not
Mm-hmm.
feel comfortable, and those around us may talk us out of doing it, but the need ain't for us, it's for someone else.
Mm-hmm.
God told Hosea to go marry a hoe,
Mm-hmm.
a prostitute.
Mm-hmm.
Now, why would God tell someone he loved to go marry a hoe? It wasn't about him. It was about the children of Israel.
Mm-hmm.
You follow me? He was the example. So I'm saying to her, sometimes we're urged to do something ain't got nothing to do with us,
Mm-hmm.
but has everything to do with other folk. It's folk now that's going to start a podcast because they watch this one. But Mark, now they have what they need to move forward.
Mm-hmm.
But it took Terrell doing it.
Mm-hmm.
It's an uncomfortable place because you're a trailblazer, meaning you got to go through the woods and the thickets and knock stuff down for other folks to follow you. See, it's hard starting it.
Mm-hmm.
It's very, very hard starting it. But when you can't sleep at night because it's bothering you, you got to get up and try it. You don't woke up at 3 o'clock in the morning taking notes because God wouldn't let you sleep. I know you have, because you're here today.
Mm-hmm.
But what happens is somebody gonna say, I'm gonna follow Terrell's footsteps.
Mm-hmm.
That's success.
And to add on what you said, the hardest part is starting.
Oh man.
But the second hardest is staying consistent with it.
Yeah.
Because the second it get hard, oh yeah, I'm done.
Woo.
I'm done.
Man, I don't know what made me do this. But here's the deal. If the need was there 6 months ago, the need is still there.
Mm-hmm.
That means we've got to figure out what to do different.
Mm-hmm.
I remember when I had a time that the ministry was so hard, I read quit. One of the times I read. And I remember calling somebody and they saying to me, I don't know what you're going to do, but you got to do something.
Mm-hmm.
That wasn't no advice to me. But I took it and did the best I could with it.
But then that's another thing. Like you said, you was like, some people watch your stuff, but like, good job, you did good, whatever. Thank you. I really appreciate that.
Yes, sir.
But I know this wasn't my best. I know I messed up here and there, but I need you to be transparent with me. Like, listen, you did a good job, but this is what you can be better at. Like, promise up, I went to my homeboy speech, Iridian, and when he was speaking, you know, when your first time speaking, you're nervous, you're pacing like back and forth, and you're not controlling the crowd, right? So they're just looking.
Right.
So I told him, I said, man, you did a good job because one, you got on stage.
Right.
But this is how you can better, because I showed him the video. I said, listen, this is what you did. This, you see yourself just standing there and just like trying to, like, you can tell you're nervous.
Yeah.
So next time you do it, take a deep breath, engage with the audience, and control the audience.
Wow.
Because now you're presenting yourself, and the second you open your mouth, you're introducing everybody who you are. Some people just gonna be like,
one opportunity to do it.
Some people just gonna be like, good job, you did good. But in all actuality, did you really do good to yourself? To yourself, not to nobody else. Did what do you think? How do you think you did?
Yeah.
If you think you did good, by all means, you did good.
We graded.
Exactly. Exactly.
But watch this. You don't think you did good because you just asked me how'd you do.
Mm-hmm.
And when you don't ask me how you did or ask me for my honest opinion, if you want it. You said that to me last night. You know, I'm gonna tell you, because here's the deal. I can tell you. Look, you thought about it. I can tell you all day long how to do something, but to help you through it, to walk you through it. You follow what I'm saying? Or to say, try this. You just said something. You told them, take a deep breath next time. Control the audience. You know, that's what betters us. When I was preaching to y'all, I couldn't preach. I go back now and listen to some of those cassette tapes, and I would record myself just to be, because I'm hard on me. So, but so in saying that, you got to have folk around you that's gonna be real with you, because somebody laughing. And so if I'm your friend, I got a friend right now, and this is what she'll do to me. She'll say, this is when I know I'm in trouble. She'll say, now you know I'm your friend.
she sit up like that. She sit up like that.
That's always a setup. Now you know I'm your friend. And what she'll do is she gonna be honest with me. And then I get upset. I ain't call you for this. And she'll say, call me when you want to talk, and hang up. Do that. Now I'm you know me, I get in my feelings, I stay there. 2 days later, she'll call me like ain't nothing happened. Hey, I just talked to mom. I'm like, you gonna act like we ain't just fall out 2 days ago? But in saying that, Terrell, she was being real, and I had to accept that. You got to have folk around you that's gonna challenge you. If you want to be the best version of yourself. You got to have, watch this, you got to have haters around you. You didn't know your breath stunk until your hater told you. Because your friend ain't gonna tell you. You know what I'm saying? It's those things. But I'm gonna have to go here. You gotta have haters for success. You don't believe me, do you? You don't believe me?
Yes, sir.
He says, I prepare a table before you in the presence of your haters. He says, I make your haters your foot. So to go to the next level, Terrell, you gotta have folk that don't see your vision. You gotta have folk that talk against it. It's folk that know who you are because haters talked about you.
That's free marketing.
Free marketing. We're talking about social media. We're talking now. This folk, when they sat at a round table, your name came up, and them cats with the social media and looked you up to see if what they said was true. Now, this is your opportunity to prove them wrong. I'm real good right now. I know you ain't. This is why I don't need no amen. I brought my amen with me. See,
yes, sir.
That's all about. You follow what I'm saying? Again, Terrell, I can't do none of this by myself.
100%.
Neither can you. You have a team, even though you're on the screen, you have a team that works with you. If not, you're building a team. And it takes all of that. Again, the day will come, and the day will come to where you are being pushed. But the day will come where it will be your turn, Apostle Robinson, to push others. See, push me. Y'all encouraged me when I wanted to quit. And now that you're in your ministries, you're in your businesses, it's my job. It's a sorry dog that don't come back around. It's my job. So when you say, I need you on the podcast, what am I supposed to say? No. Not only do I want to be on your podcast, I want to support you in every other way because y'all support it. That's what support is all about. That's what being successful is all about, knowing that you have a team. You know, pick the phone and say, I need this done. I got you. That's
and the power.
Yes, sir. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh no, you good, because I am actually learning how to build a team right now, so that way, like I'm not just becoming overwhelmed with everything that I'm doing.
Man, you need that. If you plan on sleeping at night, put a team together, and let me know if I need to help you with that. I got you.
Yes, sir. Hey, listen. We've been connected.
Yes,
we just lost numbers.
Yes,
we just lost numbers.
and you didn't lose that because I always knew where you were.
Yes, sir.
All the time, and I'm always seeing. Matter of fact, you weren't with us 2 years ago. We did Christmas homeless outreach, and Tony was there.
Tony and Timmy.
Tony and Timmy was there. Sure were. So we that's the thing. We may not talk all the time, but we connect. And if you got a need, Apostle, I need you. I'm coming. You're in California now, right?
Yeah, yes, sir.
And I hope you have a need. Oh God, I'm enjoying this, man. I really am enjoying this.
Yes, sir. I told you, like, there's no better conversation than a natural conversation.
Yes, sir.
This right here was natural.
It was
natural. So what we're gonna do? We're gonna look at the comments because there's been a lot of people commenting and stuff.
Okay.
So first one was my mama. Hello, guys. What's up, mama?
Hey,
next one was Robin, you blind. What's going on, brother? Man, appreciate you for tuning in.
Yeah.
This one was Change Like Virtual. There you go. I keep you. I appreciate that. Is this
that's Overseer Diane. That's our church in Clarendon, Arkansas. We're a virtual.
Okay. Thank you, Diane, for tuning in and showing love. Oh, look at this one.
Oh, look sharp. Oh, you like my hat?
You like my hat? All right, Robin, you blind coming in again. He said people always reach out and grab a rising balloon.
That's good. That's good.
Power of faith is stronger than people realize. 100%, Robin. Hey,
good. You need to get Robin on your show.
100%. 100%. He dropping them gems.
And you would have known that.
Gregory said, "Good analogy." Probably to all the ones you was referring to.
Well, Greg, I would say this, and you'll probably see Terrell. I got a lot of analogies. Got a lot of them, a whole lot of them, and they work because even in the Bible, Jesus used parables because people couldn't contain what he was saying, so he would give short stories. So a lot of the times, I can be talking, I can look in their face and tell they just lost his 2 left shoes. And I'll give an analogy. For example, we got to keep it simple for stupid.
Exactly.
KISS. Keep it simple for stupid. We sometimes want to show folk how smart we are using these big words and all this, and folk leave lost. Whereas we need to break it, make sure that in the communication piece, we're communicating. We don't always communicate with folk, and they're not going to tell you that you're not communicating with them. So the analogy piece helps with that, because that deer in headlight look with the analogy. Oh, then you know you got them.
they hit you with a
yeah.
Come here.
You got to have
come here.
Go, you know. So also, you just now getting this.
And then here go another one. That's a new one. Apostle like it. Labor together.
Which one that was?
Yeah, a lot of them, all of them.
Well, But for her, she said for her to say it's a new one. It's apparently one I ain't said before, so I need to see which one that one is.
Yeah. Felt that in my spirit.
Wow.
Mama said, good job. Well, job well done.
Mm-hmm.
And then Robin, you blind. This is the same dude. He said Edison failed over 500 times making the light bulb. He said he didn't fail. He just learned over 500 ways to make a new light bulb.
I like that.
And then he said no press is a bad press.
That's
But
right.
man, Apostle, do you have any closing remarks before we go ahead and log off for the day?
I'm not. Well, yeah, I do. I would say thank you again for giving me this opportunity to share. Those that are watching, thank you guys. I'm not as young as I used to be. I'm 51, so I feel like an old man now. But to be able to see you and others, Pierre and all the others that grew up around me, around the church, being successful, man, if I close my eyes today, I die a happy man. Gotta say thank you to everyone. You see Diane and Tamara, them, the team that God has given me. So I'm grateful, and I look forward. I'm gonna keep watching, and I look forward to being your guest again soon, son. Thank you.
Yes, sir. You know 100%. Listen, I really appreciate you for coming on, for tuning in. Listen, we was on live for like an hour and some change.
and we got time.
Do you hear me?
When you having a good they say time flies when you're having fun. I kept watching the watch, like my clock, like, why are you moving so fast? But again, we had some good stuff to share.
But anyway, I appreciate y'all for tuning in. Everybody that tuned in for episode number 11. I think it is episode number 11. I appreciate y'all. I love y'all, and make sure y'all always strive for greatness. Hold on, Apostle. Okay.